Hello, everybody. I'm Sharon, and I feel very honored to share with you about this pandemic prevention solution. Now we move to our topic. We all know that the coronavirus pandemic has been spreading very fast across the world. And as of yesterday morning, it has taken about 7.5 million people around the world, and about 403 about 436,000, okay, has been sickened before, and now they leave us because they are dead. So the rising numbers make us very sad, and this means thousands of people and thousands of homes are broken. And we all know that the pandemic, okay, it is last not only for a very short time. We must be prepared to fight against the pandemic for a very long time. However, we're not fully prepared. For example, some of us are lack of these anti-epidemic materials, and for some medical workers, they use self-made medical masks. They're wearing trash bags as protective gears for some of them. And besides, we know that a lot of countries take very tough measures like country lockdown, right? And now some of us begin to come back to work, and we need to go to outside for work or go to school or go shop and go to shop for something. And when we want to enter the building or enter very public areas, we need to do the temperature measurement. And for the traditional handheld temperature measurement, it is very inefficient because we need to measure the temperature with some workers nearby to hold the thermometer and then to do the temperature detection one by one. And I mean, if there's abnormal temperature, it is very difficult for us to make logs to take notes of some basic information of these people. And besides, we know that for the pandemic, it is the common enemy of our whole city, of a whole nation. So we need to collaborate with each other, okay, in a very good way, in a very effective way. But at present, some of our districts or some hospitals, we use different communication tools. For example, some of them use DMR, some of them use PAC, right? It is very difficult for us to communicate with each other, with different departments very efficiently. So we have not efficient communication, and which result in very poor collaboration, especially during some sudden breaks cases of the pandemic. Besides, as we all know, a lot of countries take the country lockdown measures. So this measure also brings very high unemployment rate and very serious impact, right? Now there's increasing disputes between the law enforcement officers and citizens. And during disputes, who to believe, and where's the evidence to protect our officers and citizens? So we need to ask, if we don't protect our heroes, who's going to protect us? And you know that for China, the first country to discover the COVID-19 virus, and we obtained effective control during the anti-epidemic fight. And China has extensive experience in the pandemic prevention and control. Hytera also actively participated in the whole process of domestic coronavirus fight. So we also accumulated relevant experience. And as a company with very strong social responsibility and reliability, we need to do something to help our heroes to fight in this battle. Based on our good relationship with some Chinese business partners who can manufacture the protective materials. And who can provide, for example, provide the masks to ensure the safety of our frontline workers. And we can also provide rapid body temperature monitoring solution. It is a non-contact body temperature solution, which can for us to minimize the cross-infection. Also, can provide efficient communication solutions to do rapid disposal to the incident. And besides, Hytera also provides the video solution, the body temperature, the body-worn camera solution for us to regulate the behaviors of law enforcement officials and also to regulate the behaviors of our citizens, okay, to safeguard the rights of both parties. And next, we will focus on each solution one by one. Okay, for all of these solutions, okay, it is applicable to a lot of scenarios. For example, for the temperature detection, we can use it in the areas of a lot of populations, dense populations passing by every day, like the customers. Can be used for the enterprise building. Okay, when we go back to work, we can just set up a temperature detection device at the entrance of this building, and also can be used in some smaller scenarios or areas like the restaurant or kitchen. So for all of these solutions, they can not only provide protection to us during this pandemic time, we can, for most of the solutions, we can also make full use of it after this pandemic time, in normal times. I will introduce about this part later. Now we first move to the anti-epidemic materials. Okay, in early February, Hytera has started to set up the production line of face masks, and today we have about 3 production lines, and every day we can produce about 300,000 masks every day. You know, at the February, we also were short of masks in China. So Hytera began to set up the line to make masks on our own in order to protect our colleagues, to protect the staff who work for Hytera. And for the masks that we produce, the bacterial filtration efficiency is very high. It is about 99.7%, while the standard is about 95%. And besides, as a company deeply cultivated in China, Hytera has numerous business partners that can provide our customers with good quality epidemic prevention materials. For example, we also provided the KN95 protective masks, the infrared thermometers, and the protective clothing for our medical workers, medical gauges, and other anti-epidemic materials. So if you have any requirement, you can just consult to our sales representatives, or you can contact our marketing mailbox, okay? And besides of the anti-epidemic materials, we can also provide a total solution of the body temperature detection. We provide 2 solutions. The first solution is very appropriate for us to use in small scenarios. We can detect the temperature of person one by one. And what this kind of solution look like. Okay, this solution is mainly comprised of body temperature detection terminals, okay, like this. And we can also just mount the terminal to a tripod, okay, and then all the installation processes is finished. So it is very easy, very simple for us to deploy. And this device, okay, can do temperature detection. Okay, the first feature, temperature detection. Compared with the handheld thermometer, this device can also store a lot of faces. For example, if you want to put this device or this solution at the entrance of your office building, right? You can just import it, the face library, or the face information to this device. It can store about 10,000 offline faces. So everyone pass here, okay? We will match his face information with all the faces in the library. If it matches, we can see his face information on the screen and his name on the screen. So the temperature matches people. Besides, it is also a non-contact temperature detection solution. For this solution, all the people, okay, can just stand about 1.5 meter away from the device. And for the workers, for the management workers who are in charge of the temperature detection, he do not need to stand very nearby. So we can, this non-contact solution can help us to minimize the cross-infection. And why I say it, for the management people, they do not need to stand nearby, because we have the apps that can be installed onto our POC radios, like the PNC550. And once there's a abnormal situation, this device would send alarms to the POC radio, okay? So for the POC radio, it can monitor the real-time situations anywhere and anytime. Besides, this solution can also support the mask recognition. For example, especially during this pandemic time, we need to wear masks, okay, in some cases. So when you want to, when some people cross by wearing the masks, the device can also do the temperature detection. And the alarms, the device itself can give alarms, okay? It will give the audio tips to tell the management people that this person, okay, his temperature is high, and all the information can also be not only transferred to the POC radio, it can also transfer to the backend management system. And this system is mainly used for us to manage the temperature check detection device, and for us to import the face libraries. And then after the face is imported, all the faces can be synchronized to the temperature detection terminal. Okay, and here just shows the diagram, a topology of this solution. The device connect to the backend system, and then if there's abnormal situation, the backend system will give alarms. We send all the information to the terminals, to the POC radios. And for our management people, he can just hear the alarms and to do re-inspection, okay? He can use his handheld thermometer to inspect the temperature again to ensure the accuracy. So so we can see that for this solution, it's mainly comprises of a body temperature detection terminal, a pocket radio, and also a backend system. You may ask that, I do not want a temperature check terminal. No, I do not want a backend management system. I do not want a pocket radio. Can I just use the temperature check detection device only to check the temperature? The answer is yes. So it can also be it can also work alone. Okay, do not need the backend management computer. Do not need the pocket radio. It's based on your requirement. And for this solution, it can be used for enterprises, as I just mentioned before. For example, we can just set up the temperature detection terminal at the entrance of our office building. Okay, and for the security staff, he will receive all the alarms or other temperature detection flows remotely. And when there's abnormal temperature, there will be a warning on the pocket radio. Okay, so then he will do the later re-inspection. And okay, for this radio, you know that it is a pocket radio, right? So for the whole enterprise workers, we can also deploy the POC system for them. They can just purchase the POC radios, for example, not only for the security staff, for the cleaning staff. They can also purchase the POC radio for them to communicate with each other. And the second using scenarios is for schools. For schools, we can also deploy the device at the entrance of the school gate, and the security staff also stand nearby with the PIN-C 550 radio in his hand. And for the driver, I mean, if the bus driver, the school bus driver, if he can use the POC radio, another model for him to report to the security staff or report to his command center for their arrival. So it is a integrated solution of the body temperature detection and also of the POC communication. Next, it is a solution about the multi-person body temperature detection. The first solution is about the single person detection to do the automatic temperature detection one by one. And for this solution, is more complicated and can be used for us to do multi-person temperature detection at the same time. And for this solution, it is also comprised of a network bullet camera for us to do the temperature detection, and also a black body for us to do the temperature calibration. We can see that for the hybrid camera, it can also be mounted to a tripod, just like the previous solution, and also a black body to set up before the hybrid camera, and for example, at this place, also mounted to a tripod. After it is set up, this device can do the temperature detection of several persons at the same time. Okay, all the faces, you can see all the faces that can be captured by in this blue box. The temperature can be detected at the same time. So maybe 3 persons. And when there's abnormal situation, this hybrid camera will also give the audio alarms to the security staff. And for the, we can see that for the backend system, okay, when the hybrid camera is connected to the network video recorder, we can just monitor all the real-time situation with the network video recorder. We can see here the temperature, the person temperatures information, and okay, in real time. And also we can watch all the real-time videos here. All the video can be stored here. Cameras, lightweight cameras. We can deploy 2 network video recorders. And how to manage all the evidence altogether. We can deploy the DSS Express system. For this system, we can support about 32 hybrid cameras. If you have more hybrid cameras, we can have the DSS Express enhanced for you to provide a total solution for you. And when there's abnormal situation, we can also use the POC radios for us to do the instant communication to have a very quick response to the abnormal situations. And what about this one? This is the body camera. Why we need the body camera? We all know that for this device, a hybrid camera, it is mainly fixed to one angle, right? So the temperature, the capture angle is fixed, and we cannot capture the situations of every corner. And so in very emergency situations, there tend to be disputes between the security staff and also the passerbys. We can use, for the security staff, he can bring a body camera attached to his shoulder. And during disputes, he can just turn on this body camera and to do the real-time video recording for the evidence, because the videos can be used as evidence later. So it can provide a solution for us to cover the blind areas of the hybrid camera, for us to realize the full range surveillance in hotspots, in spaces, in places where there's a lot of people passing by every day. And this is the devices that we used in this solution. The first device is the bullet camera, right? And for this camera, it has 2 cameras. One camera is for the for it to capture the visible light image. Another camera is for it to capture the thermal image. So for the device, it can capture 2 kind of videos at the same time. The first video is about the visible image video, and the second one is the thermal image video. And this is tripod, mainly used for us to mount the bullet camera and mount the black body. So the deployment of this solution is also very efficient and also very flexible, very efficient. And for this solution, it can realize the quick detection of body temperature, less than 1 second for a lot of people passing by. And it can also support the multi-person measurement at the same time. All the faces that can be contained in this blue box, the temperature of this person's will be detected at the same time automatically. And this solution is very flexible. It can be used at some small scenes like the entrances and exits of the supermarket. Can be also used at some places where a lot of people passing by, like the airports or railway stations. Besides, compared with the thermometer, a handheld thermometer solution, we can also store all the records at the network video recorder, right? So we can generate the records automatically for us to do tracing back very easily later. And for this device, it can be used as a not only a body temperature detection camera, can be also used as a surveillance camera at normal times. It means that even now we just want to use it as a body temperature detection solution. At normal times, when the pandemic is over, we can use this solution for us to do surveillance. And for this temperature detection, we can support very accurate temperature detection, and it is about 0.3 degree with the black body. So it is minus 0.3 plus 0.3 degree. And why black body? Black body is mainly used for us to calibrate the temperature in order to ensure that the temperature detection is very accuracy. And for this black body, we usually suggest it to be 3 meters before the thermal bullet camera. And why it is 3 meters? It is because of this device has a fixed focal length. It has fixed focal length. So at about 3 meters, all the captured faces and all the captured images is of the best quality. And for the black body, we suggest you to set the temperature to be 35 degrees, okay, based on our test. And this is the network video recorder. As I mentioned before, this device is mainly for us to store all the videos that is captured by the bullet camera, and also to store the records of all of the people temperature information for us to do traceback later. So this is all of the body temperature detection solution for multiple persons. And now we move to its using scenarios. Okay, for example, this solution can be used for some situations where there's a lot of people passing by, like the shopping malls. Okay, we can deploy the bullet camera at the entrance of the shopping mall, and a black body. Okay, this is the body. This is the camera, right? The black body before the camera, about 3 meters away. This is the black body, and we can also connect our device, the camera, to a computer, and then we can monitor the real-time images, the real-time temperature on the screen. Okay, just like this one. And if there's abnormal situation, the security staff can report to the control room by POC radios. And so the control room can dispatch in time for us to reduce our response time, and to minimize the cross-infection for us to find the risks from the very beginning, right? And besides of the communication, besides of the temperature detection solution, we can also provide the communication solution for us to prevent, to fight against the pandemic. As I mentioned before, now the pandemic is not only the enemy of just one city, of just one district. It is the common enemy, okay, across districts, across cities, even across nations. So we need a very convergent communication solution for all different departments to communicate very efficiently, for them to enhance their dispatch efficiency, for them to enhance their disposal efficiency. Usually, for example, for our hospitals, we usually have the PMR network coverage, right? Like the DMR. And for this coverage, normally the coverage area is very limited. For example, only limited to only some regions, okay? near this hospital or just cover the hospital. And for example, there's a lot of ambulance calls every day, right? So how to make sure that the security staff, the medical workers on the ambulance can communicate with their headquarters, with the hospitals very efficiently, okay? We can just make full use of the 3G, 4G Wi-Fi network coverage, okay? Where there's no PMR, we can make full use of this coverage, and we can use the POC radios, okay, to connect to the 3G, 4G Wi-Fi, and then connect to the POC server. The POC server, we can just deploy it on the cloud, or we can deploy to some places, okay, deploy it locally with the access to with a very static IP. And in this way, the POC radio can access to the POC server. And we can not only enjoy the benefits that bringing with the 3G or 4G Wi-Fi network, not only the benefit of the wide coverage, but also the wide band. For example, we can not only enjoy the voice communication, we can also enjoy the services bring about, like the video dispatch, right? Because it is wideband, and multimedia messages for us to share the information in a group to share the patient situations, the patient images situations in the group very efficiently. Besides, if you want to realize the interconnection between the POC radios and also the PMR radios, for example, you want the POC radio and the PMR radio in the same group to start a group call, we can deploy the Hytera HyTalk Pro solution. It can realize the interconnection between the POC system and also the DMR system, or like the MCS solution for us to realize the interconnection between the POC system and also the Tetra system. So we can see that Hytera can not only provide the PMR network solution, not only the POC solution, but also the convergent communication solution for us to start the instant group calls very quickly, no matter which network you are under. And this is the solution for the healthcare communication. We can see that, okay, there's a lot of ambulance calls every day, and when the ambulance arrive at the patient site, you can just do the remote video, transfer his real-time video to the backend to the backend monitoring center. So the backend monitoring center can know the real-time situation and make fast reaction, okay, to find the best treatment solution for the patient, okay, before the ambulance arrive at the hospital. And besides, for the paramedics, for the paramedic workers, for the medical workers, on the ambulance, he can use his body-worn camera, right? Not only to do the video transferring to the dispatch center, can also do the local video recording. And why do the local video recording? The videos can be used as training materials later. We all know that at present, during this pandemic time, a lot of nurses and a lot of nurses, and a lot of medical workers, before they are not in charge of this area, right? So, for example, they are professionals for brain diseases. They are professional for heart diseases, and now we can just share all the recording materials for them to do training to enhance their professionalism. So this is the one use for the video that recorded by the body worn camera. Another benefit the video can bring about is that during some disputes, okay, there's a lot of disputes between the medical workers and the patients' relatives or patients. We can just use all the videos, okay, recorded as evidence to show that we already do our best. We already do what we can do to help to for us to help the patient. Besides, the paramedic workers and the ambulance can also transfer his real-time video to the HQ headquarters for the experts, remote experts, to do the remote video diagnosis. Okay, and we can see that this communication solution can also provide a very wide coverage. Okay, not only not only outside of the hospital, but also inside the hospital. Because, for example, inside the hospital, we have the 3G or 4G coverage. We also have the Wi-Fi coverage. So we can realize the instant communication just just to press the PDT button, okay? And we do not need to do the face-to-face communication for our medical workers. We can just realize the instant communication just press the PDT button for us to discuss with each other, for us to have meetings. And for all the POC radios, like the PNC 550 or PTC 550, we can support the glove operation. It means that even though for our medical workers, we wear the gloves, medical gloves for us to protect ourselves, we can also just tap the screen, okay, very flexibly and very easily, even we wear the gloves. So all of the communication solution can help us to respond to the emergency situation very quickly, for us to find the best treatment solution for our patients, and for us to avoid cross-infection, because we do not need to do the contact face-to-face communication. We can just do the remote video diagnosis, okay, to minimize the requirement for face-to-face communication. And this is the radios that we can be used with the POC solution, like the PNC 380 for this device. It has a full keypad, right? And the device can be connected to the 3G, 4G Wi-Fi network. It's a very large and dedicated button, easily for us to do instant access to the POC network. Okay, just no dialing, no waiting. Once we press this button, we can initiate or start a group call instantly. And this is the PNC 550. It just looks like a smartphone, right, with a very big screen, and also has a PDT button, has emergency button. In emergency situations, we can just click press the emergency button for us to initiate the emergency calls to the backend system, to the dispatch center. And the PDC 550, it is a combination of a broadband and the narrowband. Okay, it is a combination of a DMR and POC radio. So can not only serve as a POC radio, but also a DMR radio. This is the VM780, mainly used for us to take videos. Okay, it is a video body camera. And for the POC radios, okay, like the PC3H0. It is a very big speaker. You know that for our smartphone, usually the speaker is about 0.5 audio power. So in very noisy environment, okay, if we want to use our smartphone as a working tool, it is very difficult because we cannot hear the voice clearly in noisy environment. But for the pocket radio, we can support the 125 dB. Okay, so the loudness is very is very high. The loudness degree is very high. Usually, you know that for the very noisy environment with the trucks passing by every day, with the drills, it is just less than 100 dB. So we can see that for the speaker of this device, it is higher than the noisy environment loudness. And this device can also support the dual mic noise reduction. It can make sure that we can not only hear people's voice, hear our group members' voice very clearly with our big audio power speaker. We can also talk to them very freely in noisy environment because we have the noise reduction technology, okay, to make sure that the people who is answering you can hear all your voice, can hear all your words very clearly. And also we have accessories for us to free hands, for us to fully devote ourselves to our work. Like the Bluetooth earpiece, the Bluetooth PTT ring PTT, and also we can also provide the wired earpiece, the belt clip and strap for us to free our hands. And for the big screen model, like the PC550, as I mentioned, it can support the gloves operation and the wet hands operation outside. And even though we work in very harsh environment, our pocket radios can accompany us, okay, to passing through all these tough environment, all these tough situations, to make sure that we have a very good communication experience. And another very special radio, PDC550, as I mentioned, it is a combination of a pocket radio and a DMR radio. So, for example, when there's a coverage of the LTE network, we can start the pocket communication. We can start the pocket voice communication or pocket video communication, right? And for example, when we come to the underground, where there's no LTE network, where there's no Wi-Fi network, we can start the communication also very easily, because the device in this situation will enter the DMR DMO mode for us to start the DMO RMO situation. So it can extend our communication range. No matter we are outside of the DMR coverage, or no matter where we are underground, where there's no LTE network coverage. And this is what kind of services can the pocket solution bring to us? Like not only the voice, but also the remote conference, okay, for us to enjoy the benefits bring about with the pocket system coverage, with the 3G, 4G, or Wi-Fi network coverage, okay. Anywhere there's the network, we can access to the system very quickly. And we can also support the visualized dispatch, okay, for the dispatch center can know where the ambulance is, and can know what our ambulance situation is. We can just stream back the real-time video, right? So the dispatch center can know the real-time situation very clearly. And for this solution can also support the non-contact surveillance, right? Because we can support video. No need to do face-to-face communication, or no need to come to the patient room every day. We can just do the remote diagnosis, and we can just pull back the real-time video to do the non-contact surveillance. Another very good feature brought about with the POC solution is that the multimedia message for us to share the videos, share images and messages, okay, in the group. Okay, you know that we can support the not only the communication solution, the body temperature detection solution. Okay, in some disputes, in some disputes situations, how to prove that? Okay, the innocence of our officials and the innocence of our citizens. We all know that with the country lockdown, there's a lot of conflicts, okay, between not only the citizens, but also not only among the citizens, but also between the citizens and our law enforcement officers, right? Okay, and who to believe at this situation. We can deploy the body temperature solution for our customer. And for this body worn camera, when it is accessed to the 3G, 4G or Wi-Fi for our dispatch center, we can just do the real-time video streaming, okay? And for the camera, we can see that it can have a very large view for us to capture more facts at one angle. And we know that for our smartphone, the field of view is about 80 degrees. And for the body-worn camera, it is wider, so that we can capture the capture more facts at a specific angle. And the device can also support the real-time video transmission. And we can also initiate the communication, voice communication, with just press the PTT button. For the dispatch center to enhance the comprehensive situational awareness. Besides, this device can also do the continuous video recording, okay, where there's no coverage of the surveillance camera. There's no CCTV. Where there's no CCTV, we can just use this one to do the mobile surveillance for us to record all the videos to be used as evidence later. And this device can not only be used as a video recorder, it can also have a deterrent effect because we all know that for the citizens, when they know that they are filmed by the officer, they tend to be calm, and they so it is very easy for the officers to deal with the disputes, deal with the tough situation with the body camera, because we have a front-facing screen. We have this camera to have a very strong deterrent effect. And after all the evidence is captured with the body camera, we also have a very dedicated dedicated data collection solution for us to collect all the videos captured by the body camera and to manage the evidence when we put back the device to our office building to charge. All the evidence will be transferred from this device to the backend system automatically. Okay, so for the next day, all the storage, okay, is empty, so we can make the body camera to be fully prepared for a new day work. And this device can, another very good feature is that it can support the rotatable camera about 216 degrees. And it means that when we want to shoot at something which is on the ground, or we want to shoot a very high building, for the officers, they do not need to just change their posture. They only need to change their gesture. They only need to rotate, okay, the camera. It's very easy for them to shoot something very high or very low. And also have the PTT button for us to do the instant voice communication. And with the 3G or 4G, you can realize the real-time surveillance, okay, for the dispatch center. And this is the instant communication for this device with the PTT button. It can support up to 1.5 watt speaker. So for this device, the audio power is also very big. And we can also support the noise suppression to guarantee that we can hear very clearly and can make others to hear our voice very clearly in very noisy environment. So this is the total solution for the body-worn camera surveillance, for mobile surveillance. And you know that during the pandemic time, okay, we have a lot of heroes that are on the front line to fight against the pandemic for us. And Hytera is a global leading provider of communication service. We also take immediate action to provide a lot of solutions to our customers in donations or service support for our customers or for our heroes to combat the spread of COVID-19. So thanks to these heroes. And now I hope that all of us can protect ourselves very well. And also during our return back to work, we can make sure that we can protect ourselves very good and take good care of ourselves. We suggest you to wear masks, suggest you to do the temperature detection every day. So this is the end of my today's presentation. I mainly focused on 3 solutions. The first solution is about the anti-epidemic materials. Okay, we can provide the masks, provide also the protective clothes for the medical workers. The second solution is about the temperature detection. We focused on 2 solutions. The first one is temperature detection on contactless temperature detection for 1 person, okay? And another solution for multi-person temperature detection can be used for places of a lot of people passing by every day. And the last solution is about the communication solution, the pocket communication, and also a solution for us to do mobile surveillance in very undisturbing scenarios for us to settle all the disputes. So now this is the end of my presentation.